Hey everybody, how are you? This is Frank Tech Talk. Today, despite the name, I want to discuss with you weight loss and the bigger guy, right? That's us guys over 6 feet tall and struggling with our weight. We're, any age really. In my case, approaching 50. You've tried everything, right? You're trying to play beat the clock. You've lost muscle mass, whether you're an athlete or not, or were an athlete at any point. It's just frustrating to see yourself kind of on the decline there, and whether you have spouse, children, doesn't matter. Somebody in your life that you want to be there for, and you're looking at yourself going, "How am I going to get there?" Right? It's you just see yourself getting bigger and bigger. You can't seem to control your appetite, or at least not necessarily your appetite. You don't feel hungry, but you're eating anyway, and you're putting all the wrong things in your body. Okay, so that was my journey, and I started again. We always seem to be starting over with everything, but I started again in January. Let me just preface everything. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a healthcare professional. I'm not a personal trainer. Certainly not a physical fitness expert. So, whatever you do before you begin anything, check with your doctor, see a professional, make sure you're okay to do these things. Okay. One of the things that I found recently that worked for me is Noom. Noom. We've all seen the commercials for it now, but they do take a little different approach. I've been doing it since January 26th of 2021, with pretty good results. Now, I'm not real regimented about reading all their articles, but I do follow the diet. What they've done is they've gone to great lengths to make this, I'm not going to say easy, because none of this is easy. If this is easy, everybody would do it. But to break it down and to help you kind of realize or bring clarity to why you're eating the things you're eating and when. Okay. Psychologically, it talks about triggers. What triggers you in your life to eat more, eat less, reach for a bag of chips versus, a bag of green grapes. Okay. And as we all know, if you're going to eat something, you should be eating the green grapes. Okay. But the articles are actually very interesting. They did hit home for me. So if it's something that you would like to try, I highly recommend the 7-day trial and make the most of it. Get into it, do what it says to do. But one of the things they do to make it easy is they classify food groups in the application that you can load on your iPhone, your Android. In my case, I'm putting it on an iPad, and I'll show that later in this video. It's similar to a traffic light. Green foods. Not necessarily they're always the color green, but anything that's grows in the ground on a tree is natural. Which of course would be your fruits, vegetables, things like that. And then yellow. Yellows are going to be your lean meats, fish, chicken, higher quality proteins. And then red, keep that limited, right? And it even gives you a daily calorie intake for each of these groups, right? Now, obviously, the green group is the one you should eat the most of, and obviously you should account for most of your calories. But it also prefaces on the fact that these green grouped foods are higher in water and have a lower calorie density. They fill you up, but they're low in calories, okay? Because they're mostly water, okay? That's vegetables, fruits, okay? So it works. I got to tell you, a big handful of sugar snap peas is, just a couple calories. And, handful of vegetable, and it's good for you and nutritious and goes a longer way to filling you up. And then obviously things like that are being in the red group are going to be your chips, candy, soda, things like that. Surprisingly enough, there are certain beers in the yellow group, so don't lose hope. I found one of my personal favorite beers, Stella Artois, in the yellow group. Affords me to have one of those if I've got enough room in my budget. And of course, based on your sex, height, current weight, activity level, it gives you the amount of calories you can take in per day and lose weight. Okay? And then, of course, if you exercise that day, you can enter those calories burned using something like a Fitbit or a Garmin watch, Google Fit watch of some sort, Apple Watch. And if you say, did a workout that burned 300 calories, they will give you 150 back towards your caloric intake for the day. Okay. So you get yourself a little wiggle room by exercising. Okay. So diet and exercise, as everybody's probably told you, are key. I know I've heard it 1,000 times myself. It's just finding the discipline to do it. Okay. And I think Noom goes a long way to help you do that. Like I said, I've had success with it. I started this journey at 317.8 pounds, so almost 308 pounds, or 318 pounds. I'm almost 6'4". So I've always been tall, up to a certain point I was able to hide it well. Now I'm finding myself wearing baggy clothing. Obviously, the pandemic's not helping. It's certainly hitting everybody with a little bit of depression, cabin fever, whatever you want to call it. We find ourselves less apt to put regular clothes on, a pair of jeans and a polo shirt, okay, even though we may have a job still, okay, and we have Zoom meetings. Started that was where I was at January 26th of 2021, okay, and today is March 26th, 2021, and I'm at 294.2 pounds, okay, so I've lost a little over 23 and a half pounds. And I'm going to be honest with you, today was not my best day for eating. I had oatmeal with a handful of raspberries, a handful of blueberries in it, which is obviously both in the green group. If you're not using like an instant oatmeal, if you're using something like, Quaker, the kind you have to boil, which breakfast was never an issue for me for eating healthy. I don't really care. So oatmeal does it for me, and I like berries and things like that anyhow. So it's easy. But for lunch, man, I had a craving for a gyros. And surprisingly enough, when I weighed it, wasn't as many calories as I thought it was going to be. It was in the red group, but it wasn't. If it was over my limit, I haven't looked yet. It's just a tad from what I could see. And I'm going to exercise today. So while tomorrow, if I stick to the plan the rest of the day, I probably won't lose any weight, but I shouldn't go up any either. So that's a win. Okay. One of the other things that's key to understand here, gentlemen, is that when you have a day that you fall off the wagon, okay, and just eat, let's take the Noom name for it, a red group, right, and you just eat everything out of the red group, worst day, right, you're going to get on the scale in the morning, you're going to be up a few pounds. I guarantee it. Don't despair. Get back on the horse the next day. Start again. And especially if you've already lost a little weight and you haven't gained it all back from that one day, guys, you're still heading in the right direction. It's a day. It's okay to be off. It's okay to fail as long as you don't quit. And that's really one of the things that it focuses on in one of their articles. And again, if you do this on the trial, I encourage you, read the articles. They will help you. And just get back on the horse. Try it again. It's not just for you. It's for your family, your wife, your kids, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is. Do it for them so you're there for them. And make this a long, healthy, happy life. I'm struggling with it myself. You're not alone. So with that, we're going to jump in to the app a little bit. This is going to be a multi-segment video. And we'll, like I said, we'll get into the app. And then in another segment, I'll do little daily check-ins. I'll show you some of my exercise routines that I do. And, maybe you'll find some inspiration because that's what helped me. Talk to you in a bit.